Hello everyone and welcome to the team building video for the London Luvdiscs. So we're starting off the video as always predicting what this team is going to bring. I don't know what this is. I think I was messing around with like speed tiers and things because this is like one of the fastest things on his team. But yeah. So basically I'm predicting him to bring these mods. Did I say that already? I got affected by that speed EVs. Yeah, these are the mods I'm predicting him to bring. So starting off we have Murkrow. I feel like he's gonna have to bring this because it's the only thing that can reliably stop a baton pass from my Scolipede with like a taunt or feather dance or something. And you know, it's still gonna be able to be stally with Evi Light and prankster boosts. So yeah, that's why that's coming. And then Chansey is just the best special wall. You know, it's basically gonna stop any of my special mons, from Roserade to Hydreigon. Just anything that wants to run special moves just is not going to touch this thing. So I feel like he has to bring that for those reasons. This is where it starts to get kind of dicey. I'm like unsure of the rest of these basically. Mega Sableye is just a core that goes really well with Chansey. I feel like a semi-offensive one with like Sucker Punch or Victini, stuff like that is what I think is going to be coming, because Victini is a huge threat to this team. Absolutely huge. So he's going to want something for that, and I feel like, you know, this isn't a switch-in, but it can... I'd be scared to attack this thing. So it can kind of force Victini out. I will say, like, if he does bring it in on Victini, it will force it out. That's the play I will make. And yeah. And sorry, I just thought of something. Nothing. Never mind. It's nothing. So yeah, this is like the biggest threat to Victini, but it's not a switch-in. So basically, something is always going to have to die to Victini. I mean, there are things on his team that can sometimes take a V-Create, but we'll get to that in a bit when we get to my team. So Skarmory, he has 3 steel types. I feel like one of them at least has to come, and I think Skarmory is the best option out of those 3, just because it gets the defog to remove any like spike options that I have, or toxic spikes, or anything like that. Its flying type synergizes really well with its steel type, and makes it to where Conkeldurr doesn't hit it with a super effective move like it can with Registeel or Doublade. Zygarde, I feel like he's going to want to have this to bring at least some offensive pressure and just be able to switch into Victini and maybe have something that can outspeed my team, because you'll see when I get to my team that I really didn't invest very much speed in anything, because his team is so slow outside of this and like Murkrow. And lastly, I feel like he's going to want either Gastrodon or Alomomola to switch into Victini. Normally, Gastrodon would be the better option, but I'm not sure. Basically, I'm not sure how how good he is in this format. Whether he's good enough to predict my Victini set, which we'll go to now, with Energy Ball, that remains to be seen. So if he can predict Energy Ball, then he might ring Alamomola. But yeah, so this is what my team is looking like. I'm actually very proud of this team. It has a lot of unique stuff and multiple win conditions, and I just feel like it synergizes really well and can do a lot of stuff. So this is one of my win conditions. It's choice banded single physical attacking Victini, because it only needs one move, which is V-Create, and then anything that switches into those V-Creates does not take Energy Balls or Glaciates really well. So yeah, there's that. So you may be wondering, why Choice Band when you have Energy Ball and Glaciate? Well, I've done the calcs, and V-Create hurts everything. Like, even Gastrodon, even Zygarde, even Alamomola. Like, I've done the calcs, and with Choice Banded Adamant V-Create, it, basically, I'd say to not expect V-Create to ever do less than 30%. And that is just crazy. Yeah, and I'm hoping to kind of, you know, he'll be able to gauge the damage, tell its Choice Band. He'll feel safe switching into things like Gastrodon, like, oh, he's Choice Banded, he's not gonna have Energy Ball. And also just the fact that, you know, if he does bring things that are physically defensive to take V-Creates, which I'm assuming he will, you know, he'll probably have physically defensive Zygarde and Gastrodon and Alamomola, stuff like that. So, you know, you want to hit them on the specially defensive side, which is what Energy Ball and Glaciate are here to do. And then if I ever feel like I don't need the Choice Band anymore, and you know, maybe it's just the Zygarde and Gastrodon left or something, and I want to be able to like switch between those moves, then I have Trick as an option, which will cripple basically anything but Zygarde on his team. Like, nothing on his team really wants a Choice Band, and that's gonna cripple them a lot. So I'm really excited for this Victini set. I don't think he's gonna see it coming. Like, he might think of like a special Victini with Energy Ball and Glaciate, but I don't think he's expecting it to be a Choice Band. So I'm really excited to see how this is gonna work out. Yeah, I have ways to hit things on both sides. So like, if they're physically defensive, then I can hit them on the special side. If they're specially defensive, it's not going to want to take a V-Create, even if it resists. It's going to do about half, no matter what. It's just crazy. This thing does not have a switch in. So, this next Pokemon, Conkeldurr, it's mainly for Chansey. Just because I am really scared of Chansey. It's just threatening, I guess. Even though I'm only bringing like 1.5 special attackers. Well, I guess you could technically say 2, because, wait, no. Yeah, I don't even have a special attack on Audino this week, so no, just 1.5. I just feel like even the physical attacks just don't do very much to it, unless it's a V-Create or a Drain Punch from Conkeldurr. You know, Mega Horn might do a good amount, but I feel like Granbull probably doesn't have, well, no, it does have the damage. You'll see when I get there. But still, Chansey is a huge threat, and just having that knockoff support as well, getting rid of all those leftovers and healing items, and things, having the coverage with Ice Punch, being able to boost up with Bulk Up, it's really nice. You know, it has a lot of coverage, it has a lot of power. It doesn't really need the speed since this team is so slow already. So basically I have the leftovers just to keep it from getting worn down as much, give me some more chances to set up bulk ups and things. Yeah, this is not a win condition, but I feel like it can do some damage to his team in the right circumstances. So, Rose Raid, this, I honestly don't know if this is the win condition. I'm going to say no, but it has the chance to sweep. So basically, if I can get rid of Chansey and probably Mandibuzz could take a Sludge Bomb pretty well. You know, this Rose Raid can sweep the HP Fire with its 3 Steel types, and then Energy Ball for Gastrodon and Alomomola, HP Fire for Amoonguss, Sludge Bomb for just about anything else. Just it has the power, and just being able to set up those spikes is really nice as well. Just, you know, allowing Victini to pick up even more KOs and stuff like that is what these spikes, what I want them to do. I mean, that's mainly what I want them to do, but they also do have another thing. They can lure the Defogger out, any Defogger, you know, Murkrow, Mandibuzz, Skarmory. I lure any one of those out, I can bring in Victini and just crush them. Like I suppose since 2 of them are dark types, they could probably get Sucker Punch, but they're not gonna kill me because I'm max HP. Basically, or not max HP, but some HP. Basically everything has some HP investment on it right now, just because of how this team is working. I might go in and add a little bit of speed, just to be sure, you know, he doesn't try to speed creep me with Zygarde or Mandibuzz or anything like that. So yeah, I might be changing this EV spread around, but yeah, overall most of these things are gonna have HP and stuff. And yeah, I think that's basically it. You know, Technician Hidden Power Fire is going to do a lot to anything that my dual stabs can't hit. Amoonguss, Doublade, Registeel, Skarmory, they're not going to like that HP Fire. And then everything else is pretty much handled by my dual stabs, except for, as I said, Chansey and Mandibuzz. Next, we have Scolipede, and this is kind of a weird one. The set itself is fairly normal, the moves anyways, but you don't normally see a black sludge Scolipede. And that's because, you know, normally you're afraid of getting taken out in one hit, so you always run Focus Sash. But, you know, this team has no offensive presence, so its way to do things is whittle them down, and it can't really do that with Scolipede. So that's why I wanted to run Black Sludge, just to keep myself alive a little longer, give me more time to set up spikes and sword stances and get that baton pass off. And I'm gonna skip over this next one just because these two mons have a synergy. Basically, these two right here, come on, Showdown, why are you lagging? These two right here are my secondary win condition after Victini. In fact, I'd even say that this is my primary win condition and Victini is like my pseudo win condition. You know, it's such a big threat that he's gonna want to stop it at all costs, and he's not gonna prepare for this threat. That's what I'm kind of hoping is gonna be happening here. I still think Victini can do a lot of work, but it's like the pretend win condition is what I like to think of it. And basically I need to get rid of Murkrow before I can put this win condition into action. So basically what I want to do is get to +4 with Scolipede, or maybe like +2 and some spikes or something. Just as much as I can, basically. And, you know, Baton Pass into Grand Bull. And you can see these coverage moves here just wreck his team. Close Combat destroys Chansey. Play Rough destroys Mega Sableye. I've already shown you how much fire can do to his team. You know, with Roserade, I'm running HP Fire. It, you know, it deals with all the steel types that Play Rough can't hit. It deals with the Amoonguss. You know, this, and Play Rough at +4 can kill the Gastrodon, the Alomomola, anything else that like I don't have super effective hits for. Play Rough is strong enough to take them out. And basically a +4 Grand Bull can win this game. With like a spike up, I'm pretty sure I have every KO guaranteed. I think if I don't have a spike up, I'll have a few like 90% damages, like that like may have a slight chance to KO. So I either want like +6 or like +4 and a spike. That's my goal. And then Grand Bull can just sweep his team. And that's why I'm running Speed Boost and not Swarm. You know, you may think it makes no sense to run a Speed Boost Scolipede with, you know, facing such a slow team. But Grand Bull is really slow. And there are some things on his team that, you know, reach the 90s in speed. So I want to be able to outspeed those things. And so that's why excuse me. That's why I'm running Speed Boost instead of like Swarm. And then Taunt whenever Grand Bull is not sweeping and it's just being a standard, you know, like doing damage sort of thing, but also you know, it has the Taunt for support to stop things from like toxic stalling and healing up and all that garbage. And lastly, we have the only real non-offensive mon on this team. Basically, the rest of my mons are just powerhouses trying to put holes into the stall team and just kind of destroy it with power. And so basically I wanted to have one mon that could be like, you know, if I can't break through this team, I need to have something to keep the rest of my team in good health to give me more chances to break through. Because that's my goal, is to just break through this with pure power. And, you know, like if he gets a chance to set up rocks or something, that limits Victini's switch-ins. So, you know, I want to have things like Wish to heal up Victini again, and then heal up all my offensive mons, basically. You know, I said before how good the knockoff support is, getting rid of those healing items. And, you know, heal belling for anything that's toxic or paralyzed, or, you know, any status conditions that are gonna stall me out or get in my way, you know, I can get rid of with this guy. So, yeah, that's basically the team. I'm really excited to see how it's gonna work. I spent a lot of time preparing because with a stall team, you have to think of every single possibility of mons he can bring. And that's a lot. I mean, those mons cover each other in multiple different ways, but not all those coverages are gonna be there per se. I hope I'm making myself clear, but I have to be prepared for every single one of them. That's the difficult part. And I think now that I've gotten past that, the easy part is going to be the battle. It sounds weird, but you know, like in team building, I'm preparing for 11 months. In battle, I'm preparing for only 6. So that's the difference here. You know, I'm trying to build a team that can beat 11 mons, when in reality, in the battle, I only need to beat 6. So I think I can do that, and I'm really excited for this coming match, actually. And I don't think that's something you'll hear anyone else say facing the London Luvdiscs, because everyone just hates stall, but I don't think I've ever really faced a real stall team before. Like, even when I played Standard Smogon, there just wasn't much stall that I saw. So yeah, I'm interested in actually playing this stall team. You know, I've never really had to do that, so if I do lose, that's probably why, but I do feel confident going into the battle. So, thank you all for watching, and goodbye.